You hear that noise? How much of that is enjoyable? Well, it depends a lot on your context. If you're there to drink coffee, that's one thing. But if you're here to do work, it's really disturbing. In fact, the entire world's noisy. Sometimes the world's inside your head. Sometimes it's outside your head. Often it's in both places. And it can be disturbing. It can take you off of your priorities. Now, I grew up in houses that had no doors, literally no doors at all. When my family made coffee in the morning, everybody was making coffee. In the evening, when they watched TV late and I was trying to sleep, I had to do that through the sirens and the static and the plot that was developing in that movie. I also grew up in downtown, small apartments, way different than what most people get to experience today in the developed world. And I developed a weird superpower, which is I can essentially work in a mosh pit and tune out everything. But as a leader, your noise isn't coffee grinders. It's a dopamine trap. And we often get a jolt by paying attention to every noise. And we got to be able to use a framework that takes the activity and the action in a different set of dimension. Because if you're reacting to everything, you're not leading, you're just vibrating here. So in today's Knowledge Bite, I'm going to tell you about a simple and great framework that you can use, that your team can use to cut through this noise. It's really easy to use. If you adopt it as a habit, I guarantee you, you're going to get the right type of dopamine hits. You're not going to feel like you work harder or you have to work smarter. You're going to be able to do both. You're going to be able to work smarter and work harder. If you're new to this podcast, I'm Bruno Aziza. I write a blog on leadership tactics and strategies. My motto is simple, no fluff, no jargon. All my blogs are available for free on my Substack blog. Like I said, 100% free, and you can find it all at carcast.substack.com, carcast.substack.com. I record these knowledge bites to give you a sense of the longer form blogs, which are all posted for free, you guessed it, at carcast.substack.com. All right, so what is this tool I'm referring to? It is also known as the Eisenhower Quadrant. I'm going to break it down for you in just a few minutes so you know how to operationalize this for yourself. Eisenhower Quadrant has 4 boxes. The top right, at least in my version, is where I put all my urgent, most important items. I try not to overwhelm that box, but I try to keep myself at 60% utilization in that box. Meaning 60% of my day, week, month needs to be dedicated on things that I've established are urgent and important for my business, my team, my boss. It's my core mission. If I don't do these things, I can't move the needle in the business. I can't move the needle across my health, wealth, work, family, etc. So I audit my calendar to make sure that I can keep myself to that. If not, I'm drifting and I know something's wrong and I got to make changes, maybe in the way I organize my week, which I look at every Sunday for the rest of the week. The second zone, which in my version is on the top left, is what I call the strategy zone. 30% of my time, non-urgent, but important. The next event, the next presentation, the next moment in the journey where I need to be ready now. I need to think about it, start planning preparation for it. It allows me to proact, because the last thing you want when you're a leader is reacting to things coming at you. You want to be as proactive as you can be. So if you know if it's important, you don't want to wait for that to become urgent, because it'll make you work twice as hard and maybe not as smart as if you had put it in the non-urgent important. Then finally, there is the crisis zone. And the crisis zone is really easy to think about. It's the places where you need to lock out time in case something unpredictable is coming your way. Here, 10% is difficult to control, but it's at least what you'd like to do. Imagine a boss emergency, something they need for their boss, or an employee that needs your help. So here, you need to be able to clear the decks so you can handle it fast and get out. The fourth box that I'm not talking about is the one at the bottom left. It's the stuff that's non-urgent and not important. Now, because this quadrant is subjective, something that is not urgent, not important for you, might be urgent and important for somebody else. So that's it for this week. Let me know what you think about these short recordings, if they're helpful to you. Also want to know what topics you want me to talk about. And to do that, you simply need to go to the corresponding blog to today's Knowledge Bite. It's at carcast.substack.com. Write in comments what you'd like me to talk about. I can't wait to hear from you.